Good morning, boys and girls. Today I have a special story to read to you, and then I have a special question for you. For today's attendance, you're going to answer this question using Flipgrid because I love seeing your smiles and hearing your little voices, and Flipgrid gives me a way to do that. Today I'm going to read Santa is Coming to Michigan, and I know that some of my friends have this story because they showed it. If you have your story, you could follow along with me. Santa is coming to Michigan. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Michigan been good this year? Well, mostly, answered a little old elf, as he bustled across his busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, tearing piles of letters that the children of Michigan had sent him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. Even though the stack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto a little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Do you remember how many reindeer Santa has? Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. The youngest reindeer was crunching so loud that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for Michigan. This will guide us to Michigan in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Santa nav is like Google Maps. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Well, soon these presents delivered the Great Lake State. That's us. The Great Lake State is us. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south and across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the cold, wintry air over Canada. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above Lake Superior and on to Michigan. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They had just crossed over Lake Huron when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Santa got lost. I hope that we get snow before Christmas. Then through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the other reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose, I wonder who that could be. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. What do you think is making the bells sound? Whoa! Cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. It must be the bells of St. Joseph Church in Detroit. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted into the snow clouds. You have arrived, said the Santa Nag unhelpfully. Uh-oh. Now what will happen? Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were, stuck right at the very top of the Renaissance Center. Everybody, pull! If you've ever been to Detroit, the Renaissance Center is the really tall building, and it has a little GM light-up sign at the top. The reindeer pulled with their might until, at last, all the screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the Renaissance Center. Santa steered them safely over the skyscrapers, along Atwater Street, above Milliken State Park and Harbor, and down into Gabriel Richard Park. These are all real places in Detroit. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted the presents into order again. All right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. Santa dove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Michigan, popping up and out of chimneys as fast as he could, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Grand Rapids and small chimneys in Kalamazoo. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Mackinac Island and plummeted down fat chimneys in Traverse City. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Michigan were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and get quite hungry, too. In house after house, Santa delved into his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Michigan had left out a plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. Do you leave milk and cookies out for Santa? Or a carrot for the reindeer? From Grand Haven to Sheboygan, from Ann Arbor to Petoskey, from Marquette to Menominee, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in the UP and the Maine. Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Gabriel, Archie, Ashley, the list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zybel. Zybel? That must be a spelling mistake, surely. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Michigan list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav for the North Pole, and soon they were speeding above Lansing, past Saginaw, and over tall lighthouses through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Michigan. My question to you is, what is your favorite thing about Christmas? For me, My favorite thing about Christmas is going over to my mom's house on Christmas Day, and my family always comes over, my brothers and my sister. Well, my brothers live out of state, so sometimes they come, but not usually. But my sister comes, and my aunt, and my niece, and my nephew, and we have a big breakfast, bigger than it needs to be. But the breakfast and everyone being there is the best part. And we always say that my mom has to do it because she cooks the best. And her house is too small, but it's something about going there and having breakfast and just seeing everyone. I think that that is my favorite time of the year, is going to my mom's house and having breakfast on Christmas. What is your favorite? Click the link below this video to create your Flipgrid and let us know your favorite thing about Christmas. Have a good day and have a good weekend, and I can't wait to see you guys on Monday.